We begin tonight with in-depth coverage of Rhode Island's latest State House scandal. Former House Speaker Gordon Fox charged with corruption.
The Target 12 investigators were first to break the story this morning. Now, the man who was once one of Rhode Island's most powerful politicians is facing prison time.
Gordon Fox pleaded guilty today to bribery, wire fraud, and filing a false tax return. In exchange, prosecutors will seek a 3-year sentence.
This is a particularly pernicious type of fraud, and one that should concern all Rhode Islanders.
The stunning charges come nearly 1 year after state police and federal agents raided Fox's home and office, leading to his resignation as House Speaker.
The charges include using more than $1,000 in campaign donations for his own personal use and accepting bribes to help a Thayer Street bar obtain its liquor license.
We have a team of reporters working to dig up all the details taxpayers deserve to know.
Our in-depth coverage begins live from federal court in Providence with Target 12 investigator Tim White.
After nearly a year since the dramatic raids on Gordon Fox's home and office, today happened lightning quick. Fox was charged in a public corruption case, and within hours he was in court pleading guilty.
At this point, it's still a process you got to go through.
Bribery, wire fraud, and tax evasion. Former House Speaker Gordon Fox facing 3 counts in a federal public corruption case.
That former Speaker Fox looted his campaign account repeatedly over a number of years to pay for plainly personal expenses.
In an investigation that spanned 18 months, prosecutors say Fox accepted a $52,000 bribe in 2008 to approve a liquor license for Eastside restaurant Shark when Fox was vice chairman of the Providence Licensing Board. Fox is also accused of transferring $108,000 from his campaign accounts for personal use.
When you ask people for money to support your campaign for public office, and you use it for something else, you've lied to them. There is no other way to say it. You've committed fraud.
Gordon, do you feel remorse?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That goes without question.
Within hours of the charges becoming public, Fox appeared before a federal judge pleading guilty to all 3 counts.
We're still in the legal proceeding, and I don't want to feel callous to any of the people of the state of Rhode Island, any donors, including, the people close to me, the people that looked up to me, my family. It's tough.
As part of the plea agreement, prosecutors will recommend 3 years behind bars. If the judge accepts the deal, he will be sentenced on June 11th.
I'm not sure if it is these officials are overcome with greed, or that maybe it's arrogance, that they think they can get away with this, or maybe a combination of both as to why we keep finding ourselves here.
As you could see, Fox was emotional walking out of the courtroom. I can tell you he was emotional inside the courtroom as well, where there aren't any cameras allowed. We'll have more of what happened inside the courthouse coming up at 6 o'clock. Mike, Shannon.
Tim, is this case closed now, or can we expect any other charges?
Well, Shannon, as you point out, Fox is the only defendant in this case right now. But, there's an overarching question happening here, and that is if someone is allegedly accepting a bribe, someone has to allegedly give the bribe. So I asked U.S. Attorney Peter Nerona if anyone is going to be charged in that case, and he tells me they are still examining the bribery scheme. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Tim. That's Target 12 investigator Tim White. We'll check back with you on Eyewitness News at 6. In-depth coverage tonight with a team of reporters working this story.
First, let's go to Target 12 investigator Tim White, who was inside Providence Federal Court as Gordon Fox became emotional.
A federal investigation that spanned 18 months came to a head today, and former House Speaker Gordon Fox is facing 3 counts in a stunning public corruption case. Moments after pleading guilty before a federal judge, an emotional former House Speaker Gordon Fox emerges from court.
We're still in the legal proceeding, and I don't want to feel callous to any of the people of the state of Rhode Island, any donors, including, the people close to me, the people that looked up to me, my family. It's tough.
His corrupt conduct has resulted in his removal from high office, and deservedly so.
Fox is facing 3 counts of bribery, wire fraud, and tax evasion. Prosecutors say he accepted a $52,000 bribe in 2008 to approve a liquor license for Eastside restaurant Shark when Fox was vice chairman of the Providence Licensing Board. He's also accused of using campaign finance funds for personal gain.
Over that approximately 6-year period, he used that money, $108,000, to pay personal expenses, including the mortgage on his home, the loan payment on his car, and his personal American Express card.
As part of a plea agreement, prosecutors will recommend 3 years behind bars. If the judge accepts the deal, he will be sentenced on June 11th. Gordon, do you feel remorse?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That goes without question.
Prosecutors say they are still examining the bribery scheme to see if anyone else should be charged.
If you are a corrupt public official, just like the Attorney General said, you know, the boys in the band are going to get back together, and we're going to come and we're going to get you, track you down, and then make sure you're brought to justice.
I've covered Gordon Fox for many years, and he's never been one to hide his emotions, and he was particularly emotional today. He choked up in court twice, once when he was admitting his guilt, and another time when he told the judge he understood that this case would likely mean he would lose his license to practice law. Mike, Shannon.
Tim, so after an 18-month investigation so far, we've learned a lot about this case all in one day. What's next?
Well, what's next is Judge Mary Lisi will either accept or reject the plea agreement. If she rejects it, then Gordon Fox can then withdraw his guilty plea, and this would presumably move forward like any other regular trial. If she accepts it, then Gordon Fox has to actually meet with the IRS and work out any payment for back taxes. He will then be sentenced on June 11th. If he is sentenced to any prison time, it'll be several weeks after that, presumably, that he'll report to a federal prison.
All right, Tim White reporting live outside Providence Federal Court. Thank you, Tim.